Hi, what's up? Welcome to the Ariel show here in my car because I have been so inspired driving around my pretty city, and I'll just be parking somewhere. I'm parked. It's okay. And I'll get these ideas of things I want to talk to you about and things I want to share. So I am going to tell you today about how to change your past, how to rewrite your story. I don't know if you guys saw our little Insta story, speaking of stories, about going to see the movie The Quiet Place. I never see horror movies, so this was weird, but I just wanted to do it, and I'm really glad I did. It was really cool. But that aside, every time I watch a movie, I think the reason we love immersive movie theater experiences is because for 2 hours we completely lose our own story, don't we? We completely end up in a brand new place, invested and engrossed in somebody else's story. And when I say story, I mean all of the beliefs that we have about ourselves and our lives. And we look around ourselves and we construct meanings out of those. Last week I talked about what we make things mean. We construct meanings based on what we've gone through, based on our family, based on how much money we make, based on where we're going in life, all these ideas, and we construct this entire narrative for ourselves. And we just think it's fact. We assume that anyone in our same circumstance would construct the exact same narrative for themselves. And I hope that if you've done some digging, though, you know that that's not true. It's not true for other people, but we need to point the camera back to ourselves and be like, it's not true for me either. It's very easy, however, to construct a story for yourself. And this is something that I have been doing with my Make a Move students who enrolled in my amazing class, Make a Move, 10 Days to a Badass Life. I'll put the link up because you need to be a part of that if that's something that you want to do, is take your life to the next level. And on day 5, we talk about changing our story. And so I'm giving you a little bit of sample of kind of that concept, putting in some new ideas, not quite giving it all away, but our story is just the set of constructs and beliefs that we carry around with us, and they dictate so much about ourselves. They dictate a lot of times our choices and our moods and our confidence level, the future that we create for ourselves. It affects our whole lives, the beliefs that we have about the life that we already have. And what's so interesting is you can take 2 different people, give them the same circumstances, and they can construct 2 different stories. So what I've been having my students do is to create one story about their crappy life. Write down why your life has been so crappy up to this point. And then you create a different story about your amazing life. And that's so fascinating, right? Because we could do that. You can do that with your day. You can do that with yourself. You can do this with your family. And when you do that, it kind of blows your brain a little bit because you're stretching your brain at both ends, right? You're taking it really extreme in one direction and really extreme in the other. This is really powerful because once we can see both of those down on paper, we get to pick the one we want. You're going to want to pick whichever story empowers you. And that's why this idea of changing your story, changing your past, is just mind-blowing, because then you can just hand cherry pick whatever you want. This might sound delusional. You might be like, well, no, I come from a crappy city, therefore I have a disadvantage in life, okay? Or I did not get a good education, therefore I'm set up to fail. Or my parents got divorced, so this means this for me, right? If you reference those kinds of things, you take something that happened to you in the past and you keep bringing it into your present, and then you keep creating more of it into your future. And you can choose what it means, okay? So because it's your life, you get to decide whatever you want. You get to decide whatever your past means. You could use the same past that you have to empower you or to disempower you. So, full circle here, back to the idea of the movies. When we watch movies, we try on an entire different belief system. And sometimes there's that 10 seconds, maybe a minute after you're walking out of theater, where your brain has forgotten your story. Have you ever felt like that? You're just especially if you go to these thriller movies or next level dystopia movies where life is completely different from everyday life for most of us. You get so engrossed in their story, you have to just take a second and remember who you are again and the life that you live again. And this sometimes happens to us in the morning too. When we wake up, it takes us a minute for our brain to construct, bam, 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 here's my story, here's who I am, here's where I was, here's where I'm going. Those moments are so precious because for a few precious seconds, you just are, and you're not buying into any story. And I want you to notice the next time that you're in that kind of in-between state where you haven't solidified, it's like the cement is still wet in your life for a few precious seconds. Before that cement dries and becomes rock hard concrete again, play with it. You still have a chance to mold it. You still have a chance to make it what you want it to be. How powerful is that? I love this because you do not have to let any of your past circumstances, any things you've been through, still keep affecting you today. And a lot of us do that. A lot of us create our entire identity over something that happened years ago. We think because I was in a certain circumstance, because I was a victim of something, or because I was abused, or what have you, could be anything, that means this for us. Those are limitations. We're learning how to drop our limits in this Make a Move 10-day series. So that's what I have for you. If you want more of this, I would just so love to invite you to come join my course, Make a Move, 10 Days to a Badass Life. Already hearing so much amazing feedback, already so buzzing in this vibing community of all these people moving forward. Every day you get a new email from me. Every day you get a new video from me just like this. I keep them all under 10 minutes and they are power packed. They're actually not just like this because they're a little bit more advanced. They're a little bit more like I keep you accountable. I create homework for you and every day builds on the last day. So by the time you get to day 10, you've got a bit of a plan in place. You've got a structure. You've got an idea of how you're going to maintain all these feelings of badassness. And so I really just want to invite you to join. It's on sale right now, but the price is going to go up very soon. So get in on this today. And I hope that you enjoyed this idea of learning how to rewrite your past and rewrite your story because it can be so powerful. I just want freedom. I want freedom for me. I want freedom for you. I don't want any of us to be slaves to things that have happened to us because there's a better way. It doesn't have to be that way. And I'm so happy to share this with you because it can give you that freedom when you know that. Okay, that's what I have for you. Thank you for watching. Happy Friday. Thank you to my patrons. I love you all. I will see you next week. Bye.